Cobb-Douglas production function. So Cobb-Douglas production function is a specific standard equation applied to describe how much output can be made with capital and labor inputs. So this production function given by Cobb-Douglas says that how much inputs must be used to get the desired amount of outputs. So the Cobb and Douglas made an investigation on the manufacturing industries in America, and they came out with this equation, the Cobb-Douglas production function, which is given as Q is equal to AL to the power of alpha K power of beta. So the Cobb-Douglas production function was developed by Charles W. Cobb and Paul H. Douglas based on their empirical study of American manufacturing industry. It is a linear homogeneous production function which implies that the factors of production can be substituted for one another up to a certain extent only. So they say that the factors of production can be substituted for one another up to a certain extent only. So the Cobb-Douglas production function can be expressed as Q is equal to A L power alpha K power beta. Here Q stands for quantity. A is a positive constant, K stands for capital, and L stands for labor. This power of alpha and beta are positive fractions showing the elasticity coefficients of outputs for the inputs, labor and capital respectively. Alpha beta என்னன்னு தெரியுதா? அதாவது எத்தனை மடங்கு லேபர் யூஸ் பண்ண போகிறோம், எத்தனை மடங்கு கேபிட்டல் யூஸ் பண்ண போகிறோம், எத்தனை எல் வந்து 5 யூஸ் பண்ணுறதா இருந்தால் இந்த ஆல்ஃபா இடத்துல 5 இருக்கும், கேபிட்டல் வந்து 10 யூஸ் பண்ணுறதா இருந்தால் பீட்டா இடத்துல இன்னும் இருக்கும் 10ன்னு இருக்கும். அப்போ இது ரெண்டும் பாசிட்டிவாக தான் இருக்க முடியும். ஸோ ஆல்ஃபா பீட்டா வந்து என்னது பாசிட்டிவ் ஃப்ராக்ஷன்ஸ். ஷோயிங் த எலாஸ்டிசிட்டி மீன்ஸ் இட் கேன் பி சேஞ்ச்ட். One factor can be substituted for another. So, the conclusion which Cobb and Douglas gave with the help of this equation was, if the sum of alpha and beta, and this is not A girls, this is alpha. If the sum of alpha and beta is equal to 1, that means constant returns to scale. இப்போ ஆல்ஃபா பீட்டா உடைய காம்பினேஷன் வந்து 1க்கு ஈக்குவலா இருந்ததுன்னா then you will get constant returns of scale. If alpha and beta is less than 1, alpha na என்னது? The amount of labor. Beta means the amount of capital. If alpha plus beta is less than 1, then it shows diminishing returns to scale. If alpha and beta is greater than 1, it is called as increasing returns to scale. This is about the Cobb-Douglas production function. Now let us go to the law of supply. We have already studied the law of demand. Now let us study the law of supply. What do you mean by the law of supply? Other things remaining the same, if the price of a commodity increases, its quantity supplied increases. And if the price of a commodity decreases, the quantity supplied also decreases. Do you remember the law of demand? The law of demand is just the opposite of the law of supply. Because in the law of demand we studied, as price increases, the quantity which the consumer will buy decreases. If price increases, the quantity demanded decreases. If price falls, the quantity demanded will increase. So that was an inverse relationship between price and demand. Are you able to recall what we studied in the second chapter? The law of demand. Law of demandல என்ன படிச்சோம் ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? கொஞ்சம் ஞாபகப்படுத்தி பாருங்களேன். What did we study in the law of demand? The law of demand states that people will buy more at lower prices. People will buy more at lower prices and buy less at higher prices. So, there was an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded, or the quantity demanded increases with a fall in price and diminishes with a rise in price. This was the definition given for the law of demand by Marshall. But here The law of supply is just the opposite. If price increases, the commodity, the quantity supplied also increases. I will try to explain this. In the law of demand, we studied as price increases, the quantity demanded decreases, or as the price falls, the quantity demanded increases. This was the law of demand. This was the law of demand which we studied in the second chapter. So there is a inverse. ஒன்று மேலே போயிடுச்சுன்னா ஒன்று கீழே இறங்குது, ஒன்று கீழே இறங்கிடுச்சுன்னா ஒன்று மேலே போகுது. So this relationship is called as an inverse relationship. Inverse relationship between price and demand. Here, if the price, increases, the quantity supplied increases. So what do you understand here? If the price increases, the supply, the quantity supplied also increases. If the price falls, the quantity supplied also falls. So இங்க ரெண்டும் மேலே ஏறுது, ரெண்டும் இறங்குது. So this is called as direct relationship. This is called as inverse or indirect relationship. So the first change is in the price only. முதல் சேஞ்ச் வந்து ப்ரைஸில் தான் இருக்கணும். நிறைய பிள்ளைங்க என்ன எழுதுவீங்கன்னா, டிமாண்ட் ஃபால் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா ப்ரைஸ் ஃபால் ஆகணும். நோ, the change must be first in the price. If the price increases, the demand falls. If the price falls, the quantity demanded increases. So it is an inverse relationship. Inga, as the price increases, if the price of the commodity increases, the quantity supplied, anga quantity demanded, inga vandu quantity supplied increases. If the price of the commodity decreases, the quantity supplied also decreases. So here there is a direct relationship. Here we studied about the consumer. Here we are studying about the producers. அப்போ ப்ரொடியூசர் என்ன பண்ணுவான், விலை ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும்போது தான், வெங்காயம் ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும்போது தான் வெங்காயத்துடைய சப்ளை அவன் இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணணும்னு யோசிப்பான். அப்போ தான் அவனுக்கு லாபம் கிடைக்கும். விலை கம்மி ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா என்ன சொல்லுவான், வெங்காயமே இல்லை, ஸ்கேர்சிட்டியை உண்டு பண்ணிடுவான், சப்ளையை குறைச்சிருவான். So this is on the part of the producer, this is by the consumers. So let us go to the law of supply again. Other things remaining the same, if the price of the commodity increases, its quantity supplied increases. And if the price of the commodity decreases, the quantity supplied also decreases. So what are the assumptions? There is no, already as said, already I have told you several times. Every law in economics is based on assumptions. So what are the assumptions here? There is no change in the price of the factors of production. Factors of production are the land, labor, capital and organization. அதனுடைய விலையில எந்த விதமான மாற்றமும் இல்லை. There is no change in the price of capital goods. No change in the price of capital goods. Natural resources and their availability remain the same. Natural resources and their availability, there is no change in the availability of natural resources. Prices of substitutes are constant. I told you what are substitutes. Tea ku substitute vandu coffee. Pepsi ku substitute vandu Coke. These are already called as substitute. So price of substitutes are constant. There is no change in the technology. Climate remains unchanged. Political remains unchanged. Then the last one, there is no change in the tax policies. There is no change in the tax policies. So these are the assumptions for the law of supply. Now look at the supply schedule. Supply schedule shows the relationship between the price and the supply. If price is 1 rupee, the quantity supplied is 20. If the price is 2 rupees, the quantity supplied is 40. If the price is 3 rupees, the quantity supplied is 60. If the price is 4, the quantity supplied is 80. So what do you see here? As price increases, the quantity supplied also increases. So there is a direct relationship between price and supply. So X is on the X-axis, we mark the commodity X. and on the y-axis we represent the price. So the quantum supplied of commodity X is represented on the x-axis and the price of the commodity is represented on the y-axis. The points such as E, D, C, B and A on the supply curve SS represent various quantities at different prices. So look at this point E. How do you mark E? 20, 1, because the commodity is 20 and the price is 1. So E represents 20, 1. D inadu 40, 2. D, C vandu 60, 3. Point B is 80, 4. Point A is 100, 5. So likewise, we mark all these points A, B, C, D, E. எல்லாத்தையும் mark பண்ணிட்டு join all these points E, D, C, B, A. If you join all these points, you get the supply curve. Yes is the supply curve. So supply curve slopes upwards. Supply curve slopes upwards. Demand curve பத்தி படிக்கும்போது என்ன படிச்சோம்? Demand curve slopes downwards. It is a negative slope in படிச்சோம். Supply curve slopes upwards from the left to the right. Demand curve also slopes downwards from the left to the right. Here, supply curve slopes upwards. அங்க வந்து downwards, இங்க வந்து upwards. அங்கேயும் left to right, இங்கேயும் left to right. இது வந்து positive slope. அங்க வந்து negative slope. Positiveனா கீழ இருந்து மேலே ஏறிச்சுனா that is called as positive slope. Demand curve slopes downwards from the left to the right. That is called as negative slope. Demand curve ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? This was the demand curve. It slopes downwards from the left to the right. DD is called as the demand curve. Okay? Do you remember this? So it was downward sloping. It was negative slope. It was sloping from the left to the right. Here supply curve is upward sloping from the left to the right. It has got a positive slope. Here negative slope, it is positive. Here it was inverse relationship. Here it was direct relationship between price and supply. If price is 1, quantity supplied 2. If price increases, quantity supplied increases. If price increases, quantity supplied increases. So there is a direct relationship. This is about the law of supply.